Okay, so there was an interesting bit of news that happened this week that stirred up I don't want to say controversy, but it stirred up some fans that got upset, some didn't, some loved it.
It's like four of us that are upset. Everybody else is excited.
Um, so the bit of news that we got is that Gail Simone will be ending her long run with the Batgirl series in August on Batgirl number 24. She
34.
will, or 34, yeah, 34. She will be replaced by writer Karen Stewart and Brenden Fletcher. It says here that Cameron Stewart. Cameron Stewart wrote Batman and Robin. I don't know what Brenden Fletcher writes. Not sure. But I guess the thing that really stirred people up were the images that were released and the quotes that were said. Here it says Stewart confirmed that the series will take on a much lighthearted tone than we've previously seen in the New 52. She's leaving it. He says here that she's leaving it all behind, and that we really wanted to make this a book with a light tone of fun and adventure and mystery, and let the rest of the Bat family deal with the darkness. So if any of you guys saw we all saw the images, and if you can see from the images, it looked like they turned back the time. I mean, she's a teenager now, and as most fans are loving the new suit, some fans are not. She's kind of going for this punk rock vibe, or kind of really really tight suit, small. Like, does she even have a cape? I don't even know if she has a cape anymore. So I'm gonna let Jessica speak because Jessica was very vocal on Facebook and Twitter, and you guys are gonna get to hear what her true feelings are. She's not gonna hold anything back here, folks.
I'll
So
try to be nice. I think this is awful. I am so against this that I'm not out of principle. I'm not reading it. I know that that's like an unreasonable thing to say, but I'm not gonna read it. This does nothing for me. To say, hey, let's take Batgirl, have her leave it all behind, and let everybody else deal with the darkness. I wonder if they've ever read Batgirl, because I'm starting to think they haven't. You are a member of the Bat family. Gotham City is a cesspool. There is nothing good about Gotham City. It is a horrible place where horrible things happen on a constant basis to very nice people. Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, this is really why I'm upset. Barbara Gordon is such an integral part of all of that. Even when she was Oracle, there was nothing light and fluffy about her. She's a member of the Bat family. If you're going to say, okay, we're taking her out, we're going to let her go to college and have all this fun, and she's going to wear Doc Martens and a leather jacket and be cool, okay, well, that's not Barbara Gordon. So now you're just telling us that you're just going to use her name and keep going with the series, and that's not who she is. What about everything that's going on with her and her brother? What about
yes.
everything that's happening in Batman Eternal? So what, now all of that doesn't matter because DC wants to create their own Ms. Marvel? It's yet again, and I know that people are so excited about, oh, look at her, she's not wearing spandex or anything. Well, Gail Simone over and over in the Batgirl run pointed out she's wearing armor. Everything that's on her suit has a function. Her helmet even has a function. There's a reason to what she's wearing. It wasn't over-sexualized, okay? There was nothing skimpy or nasty about it. It's part DC wanting their own Ms. Marvel, and it's part DC trying to appease these overly politically correct fans who need everything to be, okay, well, spandex is wrong. Well, no, it's not. She's completely covered, and she's wearing armor on a lot of that. So I don't see where they felt the need to take Barbara Gordon and change everything that she is for the sake of having another hit like Ms. Marvel. You are creative people. You work for DC. Create a new character. Or introduce Cassandra Cain, who a lot of people have been asking for, and have her do this story. Barbara Gordon is not, what was that, Carrie Russell? Felicity. She's not Felicity. She's not Gilmore Girls. This is not who she is. This is not Batgirl. Don't call her Batgirl. She's not Batgirl. She's 16-year-old, I want to be a superhero girl. This is not who she is. It's yet again people who need too much politically correctness to just getting their hands into the comic again and messing it
So
up. There's nothing wrong. And then on top of this, if you read the Bleeding Cool article, Gail Simone got kicked off.
Yep, that's what I
They
was about
said,
to
this is
bring
what we're
up.
going to do, and she said, I don't want to do it, and they kicked her off.
I was
Like, what
about
is
to bring
that?
that up.
You kick off one of your biggest writers? Come on now. It's ridiculous. It's
So,
awful.
all right, a few things like stood out for me. All right. Batgirl is my favorite female character, easily in my top 10. I have 3 issues of Batgirl #1, 3 issues of Batgirl #2, and like 2 issues of Batgirl like #3. I love the Batgirl character because she's different, she's unique, and I'm talking about the New 52. Like I liked what the approach was with that. I don't know pre that. I don't know much about her before that. I found it interesting that this thing most of these images were leaked to MTV. Like they were given to
Mm-hmm.
MTV to produce. How interesting is that they give MTV these things, and then one of the images that stood out for me was she's taking a selfie
In the bathroom. In the bathroom.
Oh,
All that was missing was the duck face.
duck lips.
I was so confused as to why she's taking a selfie with a bunch of other teenagers around her, worried about their makeup, and then it's okay. So then you said that her suit has a function in the new one, and
Yeah.
recent, yeah, it does, and it has a function now because clearly it's holding her lipstick, her makeup. Come on now, it has functions.
She's got a leather jacket. She's stylish now, okay?
Now she's got
Batgirl's all about that style.
yellow boots. I mean, she's going to the club. I mean, who
That's
wouldn't
it.
want to get with
That's
Batgirl at the club like this? It's all right. Sure, I'm not as mad as you. I'm confused, like to all hell, because like you said, she's like major parts into a story right now. Like this is ending in August, and the new one starts in October, September. When is the new one coming out?
I think
September.
it's like October. I think they're gonna take a month or so off.
So by next month, so the new one just came out. So they have 1 issue to completely finish her arc right now. But then they have to finish her arc going on in Batman Eternal and everywhere else she's in. They did say that that she will have a Futures End #1 that Gail Simone is writing that, so we have that to look forward to. But it's so weird everything in the Bat universe is dark, and now we're toning her back in age, back to high school. Very
So
weird.
she looks like.
But it's weird. Yeah, I mean,
they're
there's
saying
no way
she's
not to
not.
say that. There's no way that they don't. How don't they? I mean, she's wearing like a selfie. That's clearly a high school bathroom.
Well, I think the solicitation says that she's going to grad school. So apparently, grad school now is
What? That's grad school? Holy shit.
selfie in the bathroom with all the other girls. Leather jacket, yellow Doc Martens. Who is running in Doc Martens? Those things go up to your knee. Like you can't run in those.
Don't they hurt your feet after a while? I mean, they're so weird. Like the boots are gonna hurt. I mean, this is weird. But whatever. Like you said, Gail Simone got kicked off because she wouldn't do this. That's what I was reading here. I mean, she didn't want to do this. I mean, so she decided that she's gonna end her arc, go away, do her own thing. Good for her, because this is not her style. I don't think she would ever want to do this. I don't know many writers that would want to do this. But then she's got a lot. Anybody that's read the Batgirl series, she's got a lot of dark things that have happened to her. So if this isn't a new take on her, like a new rebooting of her character, is she just gonna like forget about all the bad shit that happened? We're gonna forget about it.
Gotham City. Her father is in jail in Blackgate. Her brother is a serial killer. Where are we finding the sunshine and rainbows?
She's moving out of Gotham. She's moving to a suburbs. She's happy.
She is on some serious medication, if that's the case.
So, Michael, what do you think about this? Like, what's your take on this whole different? I mean, I'm gonna read it because you know me. It's a new take. I'll read it. I'm not gonna go to Jessica's thing. I'm confused, and if
I'm not reading it.
If they go to Bubblegum Princess, I'm mad. But Michael, what did you think, Mike? Like, what do you think's happening here?
I just want to know who the hell's in the think tank over there that thought that's a good idea. It's like,
I don't know.
Is it just me, or does DC seem to fumble the ball at the 1-yard line a whole lot? It's like, okay, let's jam every superhero known to man in Batman versus Superman, and then let's take the comic universe, and that's going a little too good over here. So let's throw something in to mess that up a little bit. Taking all the stuff that's happened to her, like you said, and the fact that she does live in probably the nastiest crime city in the world.
She's moving. It's different. She's moving away. Just abandoning her father, leaving her psycho brother, and going on. I don't know where she's going, but
I think this is a horrible idea. I really do. I think it's a horrible idea. It's one of the reasons. This kind of thing is one of the reasons why I don't care much for DC stuff outside of Batman and occasionally when they get it right, Superman.
Yeah, Superman's hard.
Yeah, for the most part, I gravitate away from them because it just seems like they make one flub after another. And I don't know if it's because they're trying to catch up to Marvel because Marvel surpassed them in the cinematic universe and their relaunch and everything, and it's just like I feel like they're kind of like always constantly trying to play catch up and trying to do something new and innovative to try to compete, but half the time it just doesn't make any sense. And removing Batgirl from what is her element, what makes her special and unique, and just making her Harley Quinn on the good guy side is kind of just weird to me. I think it's dumb. I mean, it might be okay, but I doubt it. So I don't think this was a good call at all for this character. And
well, like Jessica was saying, it's clearly them trying to grab that same fan base that Miss Marvel has right now.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel's young, it's working, it's being written really well, and this is them saying, well, all we have to do is make her young, make her hip or spunky or whatever you want to call her. I don't know what villain's gonna take her serious, but I mean, whatever.
And it's a lot like I don't want it to come off like I don't like fun books because we've reviewed Ms. Marvel and I absolutely love Ms. Marvel. I can't say enough good stuff about that book, but there's certain characters that are fun and happy, and there's certain characters that are just not. And I think the current Batgirl run, Gail Simone injects enough humor into it in her voiceovers and her inner monologue to keep it happy enough to where it makes sense to be in the Batman universe. I'm worried. I mean, luckily Scott Snyder is spearheading everything involving Batman Eternal, and it doesn't feel like that'll get messed up in any way. It's just it's creating this whole vacuum of it's just a lot of continuity errors that are going to come out of this, and it's very confusing to me. I don't understand why Power Girl, for example, she could have been the perfect candidate for something like this. Give them Power Girl. Barbara Gordon, this is not her. This is not Barbara Gordon.
Well, I'm reading here a little bit more, and I think last week or a week before that we talked about the Gotham Academy thing, and how I was kind of excited about that because like it's going to be a fun take on the Gotham world. All right, I was cool with that. But now I'm reading here that it's Gotham Academy is almost the reason they're going with this route because they want her to be a tie-in to the events that happen in that book.
Then I guess I won't. I mean, I have a problem with happiness in Gotham. I mean, I read the Batman books for the crime stories and the mystery, not for the jokes.
See, but that's why I was kind of excited about Gotham Academy because I was like, all right, a book with new characters in Gotham, all right, that would work. I think that would be cool to just see how they were able to like make a bubbly type of situation in a city like that. But if they were all young, makes sense. But now you're taking and you're introducing all the new characters that are going to be in Gotham Academy, and you're throwing Batgirl as a part of that. Like, I was excited about that last week, but I never wanted Batgirl to kind of have to go through this because of like the new Gotham Academy comic. I don't understand. Like, what it says here is that they're gonna tie her into that series in a way. Like it says they're gonna claim she's gonna be a part of the academy, and they're gonna interact her with the other people in the academy. And I guess since they're all young, they had to make her young and bubbly. I swear, if she enrolls in this school, I'm gonna be very.
My thing is with young people is how young are you trying to get? Because kids only have money to a certain extent. I mean, a 13-year-old is not going to go to the store and spend $45 per month or so on books. They don't have the money. They don't have a job.
Well, cover. I mean, what was the premise of Gotham Academy Middle School? I believe, is that what they were saying? They were going for that audience, right? Middle school. Like for the premise of the book of that series, was that middle school?
Yeah, I don't know.
If she's a part of it, that means that what is a grad student going to hang out with middle school students for? Like, how is that even going to make sense if she's quote unquote in college or in grad school? Like the Gotham Academy, the cover and I believe the press release stated that it was going to be like middle school or young high school students. I don't remember, but it was really weird.
The sad thing is, too, is that the readers you're trying to grab, this is kind of like the only thing that they might like. So it's not even like, okay, we're gonna grab these readers and they're gonna go read other stuff. The people who end up liking this, I don't think they're gonna like something like the main Batman title, because if they want light and fluffy, they're not gonna like Batman. So it's not even like you're saying, okay, well, we're gonna do this because this is gonna get us more money. It really might not. So what really is the purpose here? You're just trying to grab some of the Ms. Marvel readers. I like Ms. Marvel. It's just this is not Batgirl. This is not Barbara Gordon. It's just not.
As someone who you can go.
I think when you take something that's dark and you try to make it light, it ends up going campy.
Yeah.
And there's a whole big difference between fun and camp. Traditionally when we think of campy, we think of like, the 66 Batman or something. Yeah. But there's a new age campy popping up, and it's the whole selfie duck lips deal. And I think that by taking, that dark, this character who's traditionally been dark, especially in the last, who knows how many years.
And anyone that's read her recently, the things she's done in the recent books are insane. Like, she's very violent. She's bloody. She's a little bit more violent than Batman sometimes, which is kind of cool. But
I mean, she sort of killed her brother. So
just a little bit. Just a little bit,
I mean, the guy had it coming, but she thought she killed him. So
what better way to start a new life and be all bubblegum princess when your brother's dead? Why not? Dad's in jail, brother's dead. Let's live it up. Selfies for everybody.
Doesn't anyone else feel like it's kind of like a downgrade that you were wearing like an armor, a body armor type of thing, and now you're wearing a leather jacket? Like, how easy? I already know that they tweeted that that's not how they're going to write it, but that still is going to bother me as a reader. You could stab her real easily with that. At least when she would get hit with she would get stabbed with a knife or something in the arm or in the upper chest, and in Batgirl, the armor would stop it, so she wouldn't get completely stabbed. It's functional, so it's not even like you're wearing a skimpy outfit for the sake of wearing a skimpy outfit.
As someone who doesn't like MTV that much, I think I only watch one show, and it's Catfish, and I just think it's funny. So I find it really, it bothers me to see an image of like actual image sent out by DC to MTV with their logo on it. It just bothers me to see it in the left-hand corner. I just don't, like, you see the character and it's all bubbly, like she's like in a pose, really tight outfit, just colors in the background that are like really poppy, and then you just see the MTV logo, and then you see the costume design, and she's like in like a very girly stance, and then you see the MTV logo, and I'm like, the MTV logo is like a teenage, MTV is a teenage, it's for like mostly teenage audience. I mean, they have like the Teen Mom, Pregnant, all those shows, which I can't stand, but they like that audience. So I'm assuming that they're doing this because they assume that that's going to bring those readers. I don't think that what they're trying to do is going to work. I don't think that them plastering this on MTV, making her all girly, is going to bring all these like young readers into her. Like, I don't see it happening. I could be wrong, and this could be awesome, but I just don't understand, especially since it's being written by Fletcher, who his other book is Gotham Academy. It's going to be, they're putting like, if Gotham Academy is not good and then this one is not, I mean, the writing has to be, he must have to be a really good writer for this to work for both series, because he's writing both of them.
Well, I think if you're gonna do something like this, try to reach that audience, and just like Jessica said, create a brand new character. It'd be a new starting point for readers to jump on at. And there's not all this back history that's going to piss off fans that you've just totally thrown out the window. So you've got that opportunity to just create something brand new and try to target that audience without ruining everything that you've already established. Because it just seems like it's just not a good fit for that character. It's not the right direction. She belongs in the Bat universe. She's well established there. Mm-hmm. And, that dark, gritty crime kind of thing. I mean, especially like look at, Death of the Family, the darkness that was in that whole thing. And, I mean, how's she just going to, that would send me through years of therapy, so I can't imagine just suddenly waking up one day unless I was having a mental breakdown. And
selfie.
Yeah, this is weird.
Twitter followers, Instagram.
Terrible.
I will check it out, the first issue, but like, it's just weird. I don't know how they're gonna do all this in a month. They're taking off September. They're gonna have to do some they're gonna have to do some serious work to explain how the hell she got happy and moved out and left her father just rotting in jail. And well, unless maybe the storyline, maybe because Batman Eternal is every week. Maybe her story will be developed by then. I mean, that's 8 issues, more than 8 issues by the time this new one comes out. Probably like 10. So 10 issues of weekly series. She hasn't appeared in Batman Eternal too often, but
No, but it has been set up to where she
yeah.
probably should, since Gordon's in jail.
I mean, I don't know. There's gonna be some serious work here to see how this works. I mean, we are really down on it, but we never know. It could be awesome. I feel like it's almost. I feel like it's a little bit degrading to the.
I think it's degrading. I think it's degrading that they now decided they need to make her so super girly. Yeah, well, what was wrong with her before?
Yeah. I don't know. It just reminds me. I saw a video recently about that that they were recording these girls and they were asking these young girls to act a certain way, and they would say like run like a girl, throw like a girl, and the young girls would throw like just throw regular. But then when they asked teenagers and older females to do it, they ran all skimpy and threw like really girly. It was a really interesting video. I forgot who put it out. It's on YouTube somewhere, and I don't know. It's very weird that they're gonna take her really gritty, dark woman of a character, one of the strongest female characters I think in all of comics, and just I don't know, just degrade her to now she cares about selfies and lipstick and about the way she looks. And they did say that they're not gonna write her that way, but if they're not, then why then these images are gonna piss me off even more. Because what's the point of these images if you're not gonna write her that way? I swear, if they write her, no man, how do you can't be in Gotham, live the life that she's lived and be campy. You can't do that. I don't get how they are, but I guess we're all worried, confused, and Jessica's very, very upset.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So, but I mean, we'll learn more throughout the months and before it comes out.
Attention. Do I have everybody's attention now?